everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Michael and today is about a rather unusual project. Recently one of the knobs at my stove in my kitchen broke, and first of course I looked on the internet for replacement, couldn't find one, and then I ordered a part which looked very similar. Of course it didn't fit, I returned it, but ordered another one which then arrived as a plastic part even when it was promised as a stainless steel part. So finally I gave up and thought I might as well just build one myself. So this is the part. This is a standard oven knob. That's the back side. And as you might see, this little sleeve which slips over a little sheet metal shaft shaped like a horseshoe broke. This is how it's supposed to look like. There's a little metal piece on here to give it some tension to stay on the shaft. And so the first idea of course is to just 3D print this part, make it similar, or to make it all look alike, print 4 of those. Actually there's a 5th knob a little bit on top of the oven to, set some programs or whatever. And then I thought 3D printing takes forever, and also if you do it out of PLA, it might be not heat resistant. PLA pretty much gives up around 65 degrees Celsius. The oven might get much hotter, and ABS might be possible. It holds up to about 85 degrees, but then I thought I might just use my CNC mill to mill that out of aluminum. So the task was to make 4 of those and one of those that's a little bit smaller and can also turn endlessly in both directions, out of standard 2-inch 6061 aluminum rod. I took this on my lathe, cleaned it up, and then put it on my CNC mill for work holding. I used a 8-inch 3-jaw chuck and placed it on the mill, and then just milled first the top side and then the bottom side. Okay, now we drill the hole for the set screw, which holds this knob on the shaft later. And I want the set screw to be on the opposite side of this indicator, which means we align this indicator facing downward at a 90-degree angle. And I do that with a 1, 2, 3 block. That gives me right the edge of this little slot here. Here we go. First we drill the hole all the way to the middle. It's a 4.2 millimeter for a 5 millimeter set screw. And now we drill a relief hole just 1/2 inch deep, because I don't want to tap for the full depth of 1 inch. And it also I can then tap on my vise by hand. That gives me guidance for the tap. If I would do that here, I need to hold the tap in place, so it's easier to do that in the vise. And just need to measure the tap depth here. There we go. 0.5 inch. There we go. And now I just give it a little chamfer. There we go. The clicking sound you hear here is from my spindle stop. Here we go. I designed that so I don't have to hold the spindle. I just press it in and release it. And there's a little safety switch here which turns off the machine if the spindle stop is engaged. You can check that out in a video on my YouTube channel about the improvements and additions to the PM25 Precision Matthews mill. Now we're just tapping an M5 to hold the set screw later. Okay, here are the finished parts. This is the bigger knob. I made 4 of those. Top side just has a little groove which I painted in red to indicate the position of the knob later. And on the back side, to make it a little bit lighter, here's actually the opening. It slips on the shaft like that, and then I just have a little set screw in here to hold it in place. And I made it a little bit lighter by drilling just 5 holes in there to reduce the weight of it. And very similar, the smaller knob doesn't have a groove. It just indicated that you can turn it in both directions with a little red circle. The back side is similar, just a little bit smaller. Alright, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to see you very soon.